Everyone, welcome to another live Watchalong on Football Talk podcast. My name is Ozzie, and I'm your host for today. Liverpool versus AC Milan is set to begin. They're doing some sort of customary introduction in the stadium. So, in the meantime, what we'll do, we'll have a look at the lineups and see who is starting for both Liverpool and AC Milan today. Now, in terms of Liverpool, we've got Alisson in goal, and in your defense, slightly unusual selection where we've got Tyler Morton playing centre back alongside Van Dijk, and then you have Robertson at left back and Stevenson on the right side. And in terms of your midfield three, you've got Gravenberch, Florian Wirtz, and Szoboszlai, which is a very exciting prospect. Looking forward to that combination there. And then up top, you've got Rio and Gamoa on the left hand side, Mohamed Salah on the right, and you've got Harvey Elliott playing as a striker, according to this graphic. So let's see how these players are positioned in the starting lineup because I think it might alter as the game goes on. Now, in terms of AC Milan, you've got Mainan in goal, and then you've got Fial, who's actually a very interesting player we've looked at in the past, I believe. So definitely want to look out for a left-footed centre back. But of course, he is playing in a back three alongside Tomori and Pavlovic. Now, in terms of the midfield five, you've got Batasagi on that left-hand side. You've got Salimikas on the right-hand side, and in your midfield three, you've got Ricky, who's actually a player that we were strongly linked to not so long ago. Name rings a bell. Loftus-Cheek, who we all know is a former Chelsea player, and Yusuf Fofana, a player that I really wanted us to sign last summer. He's currently playing for AC Milan. And as your front two, you've got Christian Pulisic and Rafael Leao. So a very, very strong team presented by AC Milan. And of course, they have a new coach in Allegri. In terms of the substitute bench, you have Ibrahim Konate, Jones, Gakpo, Simicast, Bendok, Woodman, Mamadashvili, Kirkes, Frimpong, Bradley, and Trey Nyoni. So a very strong bench from Liverpool's point of view. In terms of AC Milan, you've got Terraciano, you've got Estupinen, of course, a player we are aware of, former Brighton player who's just signed for AC Milan, so he's made a place on the bench. I've also just realized Ekitike has not been selected, which is a slight shame. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play. But yeah, he's not been selected. So I expect him to be involved in our next fixture against Yokohama on Wednesday. But back to the AC Milan bench, you've got Noah Okafor, you've got Alex Jimenez, you've got Chukwueze, very good player, Nigerian international, who used to play for Villarreal. And then you have Terraciano, you got Colombo, you got Komoto, Dutu, Bondo, Gabia, Yunus Musa, the US international, Magni, Liberali, and you got Toriani as well. So interesting, man. Some familiar names, but in terms of Liverpool, I think we have the stronger bench. So very, very interested to see how we set up because I don't think it will be this shape that they have presented here. I think there will be slight alterations in terms of how Liverpool play. So should be exciting nonetheless. But yeah, feel free to let me know in the chat what you think the score prediction will be. I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory for the Reds. I don't think it's going to be a basketball type of game. I think it's going to have goals, but it's more about playing decent football or finding your fitness or finding that rhythm, when it comes to playing at a certain speed and a certain intensity. So that's what I'm looking forward to today. So it should be a good occasion. It looks like it's a sellout crowd as well. So yeah, should be a great watch for us Liverpool fans, but of course a great watch for the neutrals as well. Just got a couple of comments here. Big up Kieran. He says, "Hello, Ozzy. Excited to watch Furts play against a better quality opponent and Rio and Gamoa as well. Of course, I'm excited to see Verts as well. Of course, playing against AC Milan, it will be a better indication. I really like the touch that they've got on their shirt. We've got Diogo Jota's number. Really, really classy touch. I really like that. Um, and yeah, excited to see the young prodigy in Rio and Gamoa. Should be a very, very exciting game. And yeah, let's see how he performs. Of course, if he performs to a certain level, then people are going to say he's going to be a first team player. As I've said in previous shows, I feel like we've got to buy that time and make sure, we don't go too crazy in regards to that. Kickoff is set to begin. Kieran has gone for a 3-1 victory to the Reds. So I like that scoreline. So big up yourself. Okay, kickoff is underway now. Let me present the scoreboard so we can keep track of the score. There you go. So let's have a look at the shape because I wasn't completely not impressed. Impressed is the wrong word, but not satisfied with the shape because I don't feel like the players were presenting the right position. But let's see how it goes. So it's Gravenberg that's playing that centre back position, which kind of makes sense because he has been sort of a makeshift player in that role previously, especially last season. Oh, lovely pass there from Van Dijk, and that certainly got a huge roar from the crowd. It's definitely excited by that moment. So you got Robertson, Van Dijk, and then you've got Gravenberg. I think Stevenson will play at right back. You've got Tyler Morton, Szoboszlai in the double pivot, which is a good test as well because I feel like we need to see Szoboszlai playing different roles. I feel like he's going to have such an important season for us, and some people have dismissed him completely. Salah, oh, for his free on goal there. Stevenson, tries a cutback pass for Salah, but Salah misread that, went slightly too early, but great bit of creativity from Stevenson there. And then you got further up, you've got Elliot. I feel like Elliot's got a number 10 role. Foreign Verts is playing up top like a false nine, I guess, but he's the more advanced attacker. Here he is on the ball. Lovely first touch. Van Dijk driving the ball. Can he shoot? Oh, little chinky kind of skill there. I thought he was about to hit the shot there. Unfortunately, unable to find his position there. Slightly overplayed in the end. Great start from Liverpool, very aggressive. And this is something I mentioned in my show a couple of days ago. I feel like next season we're going to be a bit more aggressive in those opening 10, um, 15 minutes because I feel like that was one of our sort of weak points where in certain games we really didn't get out the blocks. We took our time, to get involved in the game. I kind of use the analogy of boxing where normally with elite fighters, they don't normally go crazy in the first round. They try to see what their opponent's like, try to kind of measure them out, and then they'll play their natural game or they'll stick to the game plan from the second round. That's kind of what Liverpool did last year, but I feel like Liverpool, because of the quality that they have, they should be able to go for that early knockout if possible, and that's what I want us to do next season to try and kill games or kill teams before it even gets to halftime. That way, you can reserve your energy in the second half, play at a lesser speed, and it bodes well. Then you can rotate and bring on substitutes a lot more thoroughly in the second half. So that should be the approach. Right now, it's pretty much how we're playing, so it's so a good evidence that that's how we can probably set up next season. Here in the comments says Van Dijk doing a Matip there. Yeah, took a leaf out of his book, driving the ball, did a nice cheeky skill, but in the end, that last touch was a bit too heavy. But yeah, very unlucky there from our captain. Oh, ball given away to Liao, to Pulisic. Hits the shot, first shot on target. Bit of a team effort, if I'm being honest with you. I'm liking Allison's new kit. I don't think this must be a new kit or not. I haven't seen that purple kit before. I don't feel like maybe I've just lost track of what kits we worn last season because it's been such a long time since we've seen Liverpool in action. But nice purple kit from Allison there. Quite like the look of that. Hopefully, we'll be wearing our Adidas kits very, very soon. It wouldn't be in the next fixture. Our agreement starts from 1st of August. That's when it'll be unveiled, and that's when the public can buy it as well. Rio and Gumo, fantastic piece of skill. Slightly heavy touch, but Szoboszlai does really well to claim the ball. He shoots straight at the keeper. Decent effort there from Szoboszlai. That's what I want to see from him next season. Having those shots from distance because he's got it in his locker. He's probably one of the best long distance shooters in the team, in my opinion. So hopefully he does that a little bit more. Just got a couple more comments there. Ozan, come out. Big up yourself, Ozan. He says, Yo, Ozzy, big up. Appreciate you coming on. And he's also asked, Is Florian playing false nine? Yes, he is. He's further up in the attack right now. You've got Elliot playing your number 10 role. You've got Florian Wirtz as your false nine. And you've got Rio on the left, Salah on the right. And Szoboszlai is playing in a double pivot alongside Tyler Morton. And Graham Burke has dropped deeper and he's playing as a centre back right now. So, yeah, good balance in our team. From the opposition point of view, I'm looking forward to seeing Rafael Leao because he has been a player linked with the club. Whether there's any interest in him, I don't think now. Maybe early in the summer we would have, tried to have made an approach for him, but because they've just appointed a new coach in Allegri, Allegri has pretty much, has had chats with him and has pretty much made him like the main man of this team now. So I feel like he will definitely stay at AC Milan. I don't expect him to leave anytime soon, but you never know. Transfer window has been a bit crazy this summer. I was gonna come out with the comments says RIP to the tacticals who kept saying Szoboszlai and Verts can't start together. Is that what people have said? Oh, I completely disagree with that. I think they would actually add a great balance to the team. And the reason being is because Szoboszlai has played in multiple roles in his career. Even right now, for example, for Hungary, he plays on the left-hand side, but he has a free role. So he's not an out-and-out winger. He's more of a sort of a free attacking midfielder on that left-hand side. And with Wirtz in the team, Wirtz can predominantly play on Rafael the shot. Straight at the keeper. Great shot there from the Portuguese winger. But sorry, in terms of Szoboszlai and Wirtz not playing together, that I've definitely never done that. But very surprised that people have thought they can't play together. They're not really similar in terms of skill set. Positionally, yes, because Szoboszlai played as a number 10, and that is Wirtz's primary position. But I feel like if you had Szoboszlai playing on the left hand side and you had Wirtz in the 10, those two players could definitely interchange. I feel like it could actually really work. So that's why I've not been dismissive of Szoboszlai. I think Szoboszlai has a big role to play for us this coming season. Um, just because you bought a player on paper that is a backup in terms of Szoboszlai being a backup for Burns doesn't mean that's how it pans out. It all goes down to how the team is tactically set up, who our opposition is, and Szoboszlai is versatile. You can play number 10, number 8, number 6 is which is currently playing right now. Can play as a left winger, can play as a right winger. So he's a very important player in our team. Cross there from Salah with his right foot, but Mainon manages to catch it with ease. AC Milan have had a couple shots so far, but Liverpool have been more aggressive in possession. Salah on the ball to Elliot. Big game for Elliot today as well. I believe he'll end up staying this season. That's just my hunch right now. Um, but let's see. I feel like he's got a big role to play as well. I feel like he could cover a couple of positions, which would be useful for our squad. Elliot dinks it towards Salah, headed away by Malik Fial. Van Dijk, Robertson inside. Fires across, it gets blocked by Loftus Cheek. Stevenson to Salah. Salah on the ball. Nice pass to Verts, good touch from Verts. Szoboszlai, unable to reclaim the ball. Rafael through on the left on the counter attack for Milan. He shoots. What a finish. Go, we'll give him a round of applause for that. And guys, when we've spoken about Rafael, in my transfer shows, this is why I'm so vocal. And that's why I've said to people that, look, if we were linked to him, that's a fantastic player we have on our cards because he's a player that can play left wing, he can play up top as well. And I feel like he would be a fantastic replacement for Diaz, if it was still on the cards. So hopefully this will give people some indication that this is the quality player. Because look at that. On his right foot, and his, smashes the shot with his weaker foot and literally hits the top bin. So 1-0 to AC Milan. Nice tribute to Diogo Jota. Yeah, of course, former international teammates. So really, really appreciate it from Rafael Leao. Good touch there from the Portuguese winger. 1-0 to AC Milan. Nothing the keeper could have done. It was a fantastic shot in the top bins. Szoboszlai to Salah. Elliot, nice pass to Szoboszlai. Oh, Szoboszlai and Salah caught in two minds. In the end, I think Pavlich made the clearance. Oh no, it's been given as a goal kick. Szoboszlai, good header towards Bertz. Unfortunately, just went past him. Goal kick to AC Milan. That's in with the clearance up top. Lovely ball. Oh, slightly overplayed there for Stevenson. Unlucky there from our Brazilian keeper. Throw to Liverpool. Still surprised that Tomori hasn't made a return to the Premier League. Has been linked with Newcastle in the past. Yeah, very surprised. Of course, AC Milan is a fantastic club, but due to him being linked with Premier League's sides for quite some time, for maybe he would have made that transition. But then again, maybe he's very happy at AC Milan. Maybe he enjoys the lifestyle in Italy, and you can't blame him, can you? So, and plus, I do feel like he gets disrespected when it comes to the England national team. If he gets selected, he barely plays, and most of the time, there'll be players that are. Oh, hold on, Salah and Verts. Oh, great combination there between the two. Salah unselfishly passed it back to Verts and maybe should have shot it on goal himself, in my opinion. Couple comments here from Ozzy come back says a new centre back or senior centre back is necessary, Ozzy. I agree. I think we definitely need to get centre back. I think the guy will be Mark Gay. He'll bring that experience we need in our back line because having Brownberg as a makeshift centre back for me shouldn't be an option unless it's an emergency or in a game where we don't have the numbers. You got to just do something as a makeshift in a short period of time. Lovely pieces control there from Burts. But no, I agree. Definitely need to get another one. Ozan Kawat said we only have three senior centre backs to start the season: Virgil, Ibu, and Joe. Not 100% because we've sold Kwanzaa. We're certainly going to get a replacement for him. Gay is going to be that defender, in my opinion. So we'll have four solid centre backs. I'd probably want to add another one. Maybe I'm being a bit selfish or greedy here because I feel like with Joe Gomez's injury record, you can't rely upon him too much. So therefore, I feel like if you had an extra defender, it just gives us enough cover to compete in all cylinders throughout the season. But we'll see. The positive I can see is that we still have players in the squad that can be makeshift defenders. So worst case scenario, if Gomez isn't available, you've got Endo that can come in and Gravenberch, which is currently doing can do a shift as well. Robertson, could be utilizing that role. So we've got options there, but we should definitely have four solid centre backs, and I agree, and I think Gay will be that fourth one that comes in. So fingers crossed, we can get that deal done very soon because Liverpool are the front runners to sign the Crystal Palace defender. So hopefully it will happen in due course. Kieran says Salah shoot. That's what I was thinking as well as it was happening. I was enjoying the link-up play between the two. I wasn't saying Mo Salah should have shot. Yeah, he should have 100%. I mean, he was just trying to give Florian Wirtz his sort of first goal for the club, so he's trying to put it on a plate for him. Elliot with the pass to Salah to Wirtz. Good control from Wirtz. Wirtz is looking very silky on the ball right now. Loving those sort of first touches, so neat and easy on the eye. Makes it look very easy, when he's controlling the ball. Rüdiger to Szoboszlai. Just got a couple more comments here from Ozan Kabak. He says, "Oh my days, Ozzy, did you see what James Pearce posted? Joe has actually went home to Liverpool due to an Achilles injury. I did not know that. To be fair, I've not been at home, so I've literally just come home from taking my son to football. But that is, that's a bit annoying. I'm gonna have to check Twitter on that one. Achilles injuries aren't short-term injuries, so even if it's like a slight pull or slight niggle there, you'll be out for some time. So I just said to you earlier on, we need to sign at least one. We will probably have to go with two if that injury is a long-term injury. So that's not ideal to say the least. And that's why I've always said that Joe Gomez should be on paper our fifth choice centre back. Just because of his injury record. And I feel like with him being fifth choice, if he's not available, you're not really impacting the other team because you still have two players per position across the defensive line. So yeah, you just said it. We might actually need two centre backs. We would if it's a serious Achilles injury, then we'll have to sign two centre backs. We're gonna have to fast track Either a potential deal that we're thinking of doing next year to do it now, or we try and hijack that Hato deal because that's someone that I think we would have earmarked as a potential signing, a hybrid signing that covers left back and centre back. So let's see. I think if that is the case, we'll have to sign two centre backs. Sad news, of course, for Joe Gomez because I always sorry for him when he picks up these injuries. But Liverpool have to make sure that they are fully prepared going into next season and not short in numbers in any areas of the pitch. Lovely tribute here from the Hong Kong audience, lifting up number 20 shirts all over the pitch. You're seeing, banners and tifos around as well. Really, really positive. Really like that touch from the crowd. James Pearce is definitely a bearer of bad news, isn't he? I don't feel like he ever tweets or releases articles that are positive. I'm not just taking shots at him, but that's the vibe I get from him. It's either he's ready to shut down any rumors or he gives us updates or bad news regarding injuries as well. So yeah, bundle of joy, isn't he, James Pearce? But yeah, you're right. I've just seen the tweet as well. Concern. And Watara isn't available tonight either due to illness, so he would have been a player for centre back. But now we need two centre backs. I totally agree. We have to sign two more now. As I call it, the laughing emojis, probably reference to my description of James Pearce. I was gonna say, ever since he had a rival club, it's been bad news bearer James. It really has. And with him as well, I always used to feel like whenever there was a link to a half decent player, I would never get excited because I'm thinking, just wait for it. Either on the day or the next day, James Pearce is going to tweet and say, nope, we're not in for him. He's not a target. Yeah, kills the vibe. Very, very quickly he does. So that's his job. That's his reputation now. Like back in the day, he would be the guy that would give us breaking news regarding Liverpool. But once you've got the involvement of other journalists like Ornstein and Romano, he's just been, yeah, like I said, bro, bad news, isn't it? So, yeah, not my favorite person when it comes to Liverpool news, but yeah, he's still there, I guess. Morton on the ball. Interesting to see what we do with Morton. I expect him to leave Liverpool at some point this summer, but he's definitely showcased himself for England in the Euros. So hopefully we'll be able to get a good transfer fee for him if he decides to leave. Van Dijk, long ball top, lovely pass there. Headed away by, I'm not sure, is that Matasagi? Excuse me. Good tackle there from Stevenson to Salah. Heavy touch from Van Dijk, but manages to find Gravenberch. Back to Allison. Allison, not the most cleanest of clearances, but still finds the local shirt. Gravenberch, long ball up top. Whoa, what a pass there from Gravenberch to Rio and Gamoa. Lovely pass there. Rio up against Tomori. Can you do it? Oh, great turn of speed there. Oh, so unlucky there. Trying to find. Oh, what a finish. What a strike there from Szoboszlai. This is what I've been telling guys for a long time. He has it in his locker. What a lovely dinked effort there from Szoboszlai. Szoboszlai not celebrating because it's too easy for him. You know, he does this in training. He's done it for his previous clubs. He has it in his locker. Just needs to have that confidence to go for those type of shots. This is a friendly, but I want it to be where in the future, in competitive games, he's producing these kind of efforts because he can do it. Let's have a look at the replay. What a goal. And look, this ain't no any random goalkeeper. This is one of the best goalkeepers in football in my none as well. So look at that. Lovely dinked. What a finish. No deflection, nothing like that. Chipped it right inside that top bin. Beautiful effort from Szoboszlai. And as Kieran says, what a goal indeed. Liverpool are now level. 1-1 is the scoreline. But Leao is trying to get back into the mix. Loses the ball. Salah passes it back to Gravenberch. Elliot driving the ball to Szoboszlai. He's driving the ball again. Finds Rio and Gamoa. Rio brings it inside the box. Oh, great effort on goal. So unlucky. When he's on his own there, no real options in the 6-yard box. Step over on his left foot, strike towards goal, saved by the keeper. Stevenson to Salah. Salah the pass towards Szoboszlai. Ooh. Good defending from Malik Fial there. I thought I was going right towards Szoboszlai there. Olan Kavac saying this real kid is an absolute menace. He is. And this is what I'm like intrigued to see. You know, he's doing it against strong opposition, you know, top level talent from Europe. So it could be his breakthrough season. It really could. I'm trying to be a bit more cautious to not throw him in the mix, but regardless, whenever we see him, you know, playing for the first team, we've got to enjoy it because this will be a regular occurrence for years to come, in my opinion. Oh, punched away by Milan. Gravenberch does really well to intercept. And Kieran says, yeah, he's a real talent. He really is. Special talent, he is. Verts drives inside the box, still has the ball. Dinks it towards Salah. Chest is controlled by Salah. Salah, what can he do? Tries to find the red shirt. But the box is, you know, covered with a lot of AC Milan players there. Good passing from Elliot. Elliot to Verts. So was like lovely pass to Salah. Salah with the cross. Trying to find Virgil van Dijk, who's in a very advanced role there. Um, but I think Van Dijk wants to get on the score sheet today. He really does. Ozzie come out and Ozzie, I think he's ready, bro. If Lucha leaves, he can be Cody's back up on that left side. Or you mean the left wing? No, I know what you mean there. I hear you. I do. But I don't want it to where, you know, Gakpo picks up an injury and then he's the one that comes in as that left-sided player. I don't feel like that's fair on the kid. I want him to develop in his own speed. And then, you know, if he's destroying teams in under 23s, that's when we put him in the mix in the first team, in my opinion. But to have him listed as his direct backup, I just don't want pressure on the kid because he's only 16, 17 years of age. So if we're going to do that, then it might be where it's too much pressure at this stage of his career. So he'll need to be a bit more sort of like reserved and not, be in the limelight so soon at this part of his career, in my opinion. So if he's there, look, I'm all for it because I love watching him. I think he's a very talented player. But right now, it might be a bit too soon to have him as a direct backup for Cody Gakpo. But the argument could also be that other players can also play that role ahead of him. So in terms of names, you know, might not be a popular option, but I can see Szoboszlai playing, on the left wing because that's the role he's played at Red Bull Leipzig, and he's also played there for Hungary. That's his main role for Hungary. So having a free role on the left hand side would work. Ekitike could be an inside forward on that left hand side. Uh, Jones, but I wouldn't really want to see Jones. And Verts could be player on the left side, even though I like him in the central area like he's doing right now. Lovely free ball. Elliot looks really slow to receive that ball. Oof. Salah with the shot there. That pass looked inch perfect for me, but Elliot just wasn't with it, not in the same wavelength, just couldn't accelerate enough to get onto the end of the ball. But Verts is showing his quality, and that's probably why I've just said I don't want Verts to play on the left side. In certain games, he might float over there, but his starting position has to be in the central area because that's where he's going to create the magic. That's where he's going to kill teams with his passing as well. So for me, it's a very, very exciting prospect. And he looks exciting. He really does. Like this is his real proper game right now, and he looks head and shoulders above everyone else. So we've got a very, very special player in our hands. Let's not forget that. Fans or rival fans won't tell you that, but he's going to be a joy to watch for us this season. I'm very, very positive with that. Other comments, I hear that, but let's see. I feel like it's just because he's so young, and I've seen talents in the past where they've been thrown into the mix, and if they've had one or two bad games, they might not be mentally ready to handle that kind of pressure or to be in a situation where they're on, the backs on the wall and they have to fight back and show their worth. So gotta be careful. It's more of a mental thing rather than his talent. The talent's there. We're watching it right now. The talent is 100% there, but it's a mentality thing. It's maturity. Make sure he's ready for that step up. And I don't think he's far off. I'm probably being a bit more cautious because I just want him to succeed whenever he does play for the first team. But I think next season will be the time where we see him a little bit more. So yeah, look, if he breaks into the team, I'm all for it. But at the same time, I want Liverpool to have two quality players per position, and then he will be the one that's sort of like the third option in that left wing role, if that makes sense. So I'm all for it though. I'm all for it to see the more of Rio and Gamora next season. Curtis versus so sharp. Yeah, he looks really sharp today. Just like he's settled in. Obviously, it's preseason, so I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, but he's already understanding the dynamics of the players around him. So that's why, for me, he's world class. Like that is the level of world class where you put them in any team and they can literally snap and play straight away. They don't really need months and months and months to get used to it, to the way of playing or anything like that. So for me, we've got a real genuine world class player in our hands. So I'm excited to see Verts more and more as time goes on. Ozan come out and said, Elliot, take that shot. What a brilliant ball from Verts. I thought that was an inch perfect pass. I really did. I don't know if it was Elliot's slow reaction to accelerate because it didn't. I didn't feel like it was that far away from him. Maybe it's just the angles, watching it from TV, but wasn't quite there in the same wavelength, in my opinion. I think it was a perfect pass, but because those passes you can't play it with less speed, because if you do, then the player has to wait for the ball to come around him and then he can shoot. Whereas if it's passed with a little bit of zip, then you know that boom, you just make that one step and then you can shoot into the bottom corner. So yeah, very surprised they didn't go for the shot there. Oh, I just thought have we just made a new substitution? Because I feel like I saw Trey Neone on the pitch. So yeah, Neone's just come on to replace Tyler Morton. It wasn't confirmed, so I'm thinking I'm so sure that's Trey Neone. So yeah, he's on the pitch now. 35 minutes played, Liverpool 1, AC Milan nil. Also AC Milan 1, sorry. Just chalked off their goal like that. Lovely pass from Bert to Salah. Salah driving infield. What can he do? To Elliot. Oh, Elliot. That's a poor pass from Elliot. It's not quite on the same wavelength today, Elliot, unfortunately. Had a great opportunity moments earlier with a potential shot on goal. And that pass needed to be a bit more calm and composed in that moment. Had a lot of players around him. Should have done better, in my opinion. Benioni. He's another player I feel like will get involved in the first team next season as well. Go on, Rio. Rio on the ball. Lovely pass. Oh, great turn there. Who was that? Is that Robertson? Robertson falls to ground. No, it looked like a bit of a dive from the Scotsman. I don't think he was far. Let's have a look at the replay. Bit of simulation there from the left back. He's not having a bar of it from the referee. Let's have a look. It still show us the replay. Nah, it's a late reaction. Good tackle there from Groundback to Elliot. Elliot turns. Ah, should have done better that pass. I feel like Rio had great space around him. Just not finding his range today, Elliot, unfortunately. Ozzie in the comments says, so far, Foden has put the ball on a platter for Mo and Harvey with his high XGs. Yeah, it's been a joy to watch because he's making it look very effortless. Like that's the kind of player he is, where the ball sticks to his feet when he gets it, and the passes they're perfectly weighted, and that's why he's going to be such a joy to watch. And the service that he's going to provide to our attackers, it's going to be second to none. We should be, having all of our attackers on double figures next season. That's my expectations for everyone because you've got a creator like Verts who's, he's going to score double figures in my opinion and double assists next season as well. So yeah, he's a special talent. Honestly, we're very very lucky to have him, and Real fans will be very envious of us. That's for sure. If they aren't right now, they will be. I'm very much sure of that. Leao lose the ball. Pavlovic makes that clearance back to Mainan. Pavlovic just about makes the clearance there. Strong tackle from Van Dijk on Rafael Leao, but Rafael manages to find the ball. Free ball, lovely free ball from Rafael Leao. Very unexpected free ball there. I think he fooled everyone with that pass. Pulisic threw on goal, but Allison, he was sharp as they come, and he came off his goal line and made that crucial clearance there. I hope now everyone can see why I rate Rafael so much because he's such a top talent. I really believe that. Got a few more minutes until half time. I kid you not, this preseason match, has been more exciting than any Club World Cup fixture that I watched a few weeks ago. Honestly, it's just levels above. It's more of a competitive game than any of the fixtures that we saw in that tournament. So I'm enjoying it. I know it's preseason, but this has actually been a really good game so far. And we're not seeing any woeful shooting from either team. Some of the matches we watched in the Club World Cup, especially I think it was the Chelsea LAFC fixture. Yeah, that was a shocking watch because the amount of shots that were being hit over the bar and just completely off target was a bit of a shambolic showing there. But here we are. We're watching Liverpool in action, and they're showing the levels right now. Rio, oh, Robertson the shot. Whoa, Salah. Oh, just drags it wide there. So close from the Egyptian king. But our preseason preparations has just begun, man. Look how quick we look. Look how ready we are. Like we're playing with real urgency, real intensity. Just bodes so well that we're ready for the Premier League to take place in the next few weeks. We're ready. And that's the key right now. In terms of the score, it's secondary, in my opinion. I feel like as long as I can see the players playing to a good level and they're moving the ball quickly and they're sharp in and around the pitch, but in front of goal as well, that's the key for me. Trainee only fouled there, but it doesn't look like it's been given. Left cheek through on goal to Rafael. Oh, poor decision there from Rafael. Should have gone on goal himself. Kieran says Rio reminds me of Doku with how quick he is and very direct at his age. This is very impressive. I see the comparisons there because they're quite similar in terms of height, I would say, and the dribbling style is not too far off. I feel like Rio just has a little bit more about him in terms of his flair and skill, whereas I feel like Doku is very direct, where he will hit the ball past the fullback, whereas I feel like Rio would go in and out, do some step overs. Like it's a bit more eye catching in terms of the skills that he possesses. But the comparison is very true because they're both very direct. I just want it to be where Rio, is better and has the end product. That's what's gonna separate him from everyone else. Liverpool on the counter through Szoboszlai through to Rio driving the ball. Shoot! No, he finds. Oh, he's trying to find Salah. Should have gone for goal there. But of course, young kid, wants to try and do well and impress everyone around him, and did it unselfishly. But fantastic play there from the young kid. 1 minute of stoppage time. Ellie on the ball. Poor pass there. Nowhere near Szoboszlai. Buffalo the cross. Oh, bit of a messy one there. Van Dijk put his body in the line of mouth. Got a kick on the face there. But did enough to clear the ball from danger. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Hopefully it's nowhere near the eyes or anything like that, because that could be, you know, very, very dangerous. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think it's a clash between Allison and I'm not sure how. What was the connection? Was it? Oh, it was the hand on his face. Should be fine. He should be fine. No concerns there. Kieran in the comments says, yeah, absolutely. Frio has great end product as well. He goes from being a Doku type player to a Kavara type player. Yeah, I think if he had more end product, he could be like a Vinicius Junior. That's the kind of level I think where I feel like in full flow he'll be unstoppable in years to come. So Kvaratskhelia is a bit more different stylistically, but yeah, he could definitely be one of the best in world football, and that's where I feel like he has that potential to be playing at world level as well. So let's see. All the class says, don't slay me, Ozzy, but Rio does remind me of when Raheem Sterling first brought into the first team for us being so young. No, I'm not going to slate you. Of course, what happened with Raheem, it happened, isn't it? But in terms of your comparison there, I agree because we had signed him when he was like 14, 15 years of age, and we saw him play to a very, very good level for the under 18s and then under 21s at the time. I remember Liverpool winning 9-0 in the FA Cup. I'm not sure who it's against, and he scored a hat trick that day, or maybe 4 goals that day, Raheem Sterling. So that's when we knew, as the Liverpool fan base, that he's ready. He's ready to break into the team, and he broke into the team when he was 17 years of age. But what impressed me the most about Raheem Sterling at that age in his career was that his understanding of the game was so good. Like tactically, he was very good because under Brendan Rodgers, he played on the left side, right side. But there's certain games where he played at the top of the diamond, like he was a number 10 as well. But the way he understood the role, the way he knew when to move around and be effective on the pitch at that age, that showed me that he's tactically aware and he's not just talent. He's got a great understanding of the game. So that's why I've said that I think he needs to learn that aspect of the game to enhance his knowledge and education when it comes to playing at that level. And that only comes from playing more football, from being around older players and learning from different coaches. That's where he's going to improve his game and excel in the future. So the Raheem Sterling comparison isn't wild at all. I kind of I really do see it. I just feel like Sterling at that age was a little bit ahead because he had a great tactical awareness, and that's why he broke into our team so early on in his career. But of course, whatever transpired after that happened. But in terms of talent wise, you are pretty much spot on. And Van Dijk, so it's Ozzy says Van Dijk with a shine on his eye probably came from the global accident. Yeah, because it didn't like he got punched or elbow. It might just be like a little scuff there, and then because of that, it won't be swollen, but it'll be like a quite sore in that area. So it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll fade away in a few days' time. But what we'll do now, we'll take a short break. And once I return, we'll continue our chat. And then we'll also speak about the second half of the game. So yeah, just go coming out here from SS B20. Big up yourself, SSB. I'll be back in a few minutes and then we'll continue our discussion. So yeah, grab yourself a drink or a snack. And then once the second half begins, we will continue our chat and we can watch the game together. So I'll be back with you guys very, very shortly. Hello guys, welcome back to the second half of Liverpool versus AC Milan. Just gonna go through some of the comments. Hamza said, guys, what channel can you watch our LFC TV? I have no idea. That's the channel that I'm watching it right now. No idea. In terms of the UK, it's definitely just LFC TV. So yeah. If you haven't got, I think you can do like a free trial. So you can watch all the pre-season games and then just cancel it afterwards. So that would be the best way to do that. I was correct confirming. Yeah, only on LFC TV. And I've literally just came running up as I realized the match has started. So Ozan Kabak has given us all of the updates regarding the substitutions. So Ozan Kabak says looks like Burst out, Doak in, and then you've got Rio out, Cody in, Moa and Jeremy in. That's going to be interesting. So that means he's going to play left. He's going to play right wing today. Stevenson out, Curtis Jones in, Ibu in for Van Dijk, Kirk in for Robertson, and Szoboszlai out, and Conor Bradley in. So be very interesting to see how the team is set up now. So you've got Kirkis on the left. Is Simicast playing centre back? Interesting. So Simicast at centre back alongside Ibu. And on the right is Conor Bradley. And your double pivot, you've got Jones. I think Trainioni is still on the pitch. And then you've got, who else do we have? Frimpong on the right. I can see, I think that's Gravenberg. In the double pivot alongside Jones. And then you've got Trainioni a bit more further up. Frimpong on the right. Cody Gakpo on the left. And Ben Dark is actually playing a central role, further up top. So yeah, be out yourself. Big up Ozan Kabak for providing the update there. I haven't seen what other channel other than LFC TV. Unfortunately, it's just LFC TV for the UK viewers, so I have no idea what other channels there are that are showing the match today. If you can find a channel from Hong Kong, that would be a safe bet, but I don't know. It's LFC TV for preseason games at the minute. Probably get Paul with the ball. She gets tackled there. Ozan Kabak says, imagine if Simicast and Robbo become backup centre backs this season. Yeah, that's not positive at all. I can see Robertson being there as emergency cover, but no, he should definitely not be an option for us in that role. So hopefully Liverpool can address that. Sign. They'll have to sign two now. Before it was the one centre back, we'll have to sign two now, in my opinion. Rafael through on goal on the counter again. Gets past Conor Bradley, passes it to Loftus Cheek. Can he shoot? And yes, he can. Good counter attack there from AC Milan, and Rafael was definitely the man there with the captain's armband. So he's definitely taking responsibility and being the talisman for this team. Great turn speed, great strength to fend off any challenge from Conor Bradley, and quick feed from Loftus Cheek, and he just passes it into the back of the net to make it 2-1. Good finish there from the English midfielder. Doesn't come back to Leo just burned Conor Bradley. Yeah, he did. And he made sure he didn't even get anywhere close to him. So shows you how quick Rafael Leao is. That's really unfortunate. Couldn't do anything in that situation. Good tackle from Bradley, but it was deemed as a foul by ping pong before that moment occurred. Up against Okafor. The Austrian international, I believe. Swiss international, sorry. Frimpong with the pressing there. Does really well. Groundback helps with the tackle. Foul on Frimpong. Free kick to Liverpool. There's Jones on the ball. To Frimpong. Frimpong. Groundback. Nante. Great energy from Frimpong. Liverpool they're showing some good possession right now. Simicast to Cody Gakpo. Up against Tamori. Cuts in. Good cross to Frimpong. Oh, what's the target with the header there? Frimpong with the cross. Just looks at all the Liverpool players in the final third right now, trying to get that equalizer once again. Jaquez, oh, short of that pass, but Simicast still manages to clear it away. Robertson not on the pitch right now, with Simicast replacing him in the lineup. Jones, lovely pass to Nioni. Oh, good touch there. Can he shoot? Oh, why did he shoot? Too much there. Ping pong. Can he shoot? No, he can't. Low cross to Nioni. Ah, Nioni should have shot first time there. As he opened up that space in front of goal, should have just hit a low shot into the corner. That would have definitely made it 2-2. From head. That's where he's got to hit there. Too many touches. Because Milan on the counter attack. Salamakis. Oh, what a finish from Okafor. That's a great finish. Liverpool looking a bit disjointed now due to the number of substitutions made. Not using that as an excuse, but you can tell the dynamics of the team has, of course, altered a little bit. But great counter attack from AC Milan. And another point there from Ozzie Quebec. When you have makeshift centre backs, that's what happens to a team as well. Oh, that's a fantastic finish. No chance for the keeper. Right into the corner. 3-1 to AC Milan. Not on the ball. Gap on the left hand side. Cross. Back can shoot. No, he can't. He's not finding the space. Too many bodies in front of him. Ping pong. Oh, decent effort there. Hits the top of the crossbar. I think keeper might have got a touch onto that. Great effort there from Gravenberch. Very unlucky. Hits the top of the crossbar. Did the keeper get a touch? Not sure. Tyler Morton has returned. So he wasn't injured. It was just giving out minutes to certain players. So very interesting there from Liverpool. Ozzie said last ever game in the Prem winning night kit. I think we've got one more game because we're playing on the 30th against Yokohama. And I think after that, it will be the next fixture. Let me see when that next fixture occurs actually after the Yokohama game. So it'll be the 4th of August. So against Athletic Bilbao will be the match where we play with our new Adidas kick. So it should be a good occasion. We're regarded as the home team in that fixture, so we should be wearing red, and Atletico Bilbao should be wearing their away kit. Um, he says, "Oh, never mind. Next game will yeah. So one more game against Yokohama, and then it will be our new kit. So yeah, should be exciting. But yes, in terms of the night deal, it's the final night deal. Let me know what you think about the sort of the night partnership with Liverpool. I think the kits have been decent to an extent. Some have been a bit copy and paste when it comes to the designs because other teams have had very similar designs. So I was expecting a bit more from Nike, but it still has been a good partnership and they've produced some good shirts for us as well. And of course, the one that we're currently wearing is going to be an historic one as we won the Premier League wearing that shirt. So yeah, definitely has some value to our collection. Good turn there from Gakpo. Gakpo then walked up towards Frimpong. Good first touch from Frimpong. Can go Frimpong by himself. Saved by the keeper. He's so electric. No other Liverpool player could even keep up with him, so he had to go through and go himself. And that's the weapon he's going to give us on that right hand side. If we need someone to cover for Salah, Ping Pong is definitely one of the shoe-ins for that role. I think maybe he should have hit it low and across the goal. I think that would have been the better option or more inclusive opportunity to score a goal. Samuel Ritchie unable to keep the ball in play. Just got a comment here from Moin. Big up Moin. He says, do you support LFC or AC Milan? I support Liverpool Football Club. So that's my team right now. I said right now, it's been my team for the last 30 years. So yeah, that is my team. Throwing to Liverpool on that final third. Bradley, Frimpong, what can he do? Oh, push the ground there. Come on, that should have been a foul. Literally pushed him very, very blatantly. Look. No, I think that should have been a foul. Oh, that correct with the comment says, Ozzy, if you could add only one AC Milan player to the last squad, who would it be? For me, it might be obvious, but Rafael. That's the player that really, really excites me. And with Diaz potentially leaving, I feel like he would be a fantastic replacement for him. So for me, it will be Rafael. Let me know who you would want in your team. I think previously it might have been Reinders because I really like Reinders, but of course he's won over to Man City. But I mean, currently I would go with Rafael. He's the one that really excites me. He's the one that could definitely add a different dimension to our squad. So for me, it's the Portuguese winger. Tsimikas on the ball. Pinpoint to Nioni. Kirkes playing the inside right now. Good cross from Gakpo, headed away by Malik Fial. Oh, walked up towards Conor Bradley, but too much in the end. Linesman has waved it for offside as well. 68 minutes played. Still 3-1 to AC Milan. Good flick there. Heavy cross there for Chukwueze. Other than come out with the comment says, due to our situation right now, Malik Fial. Yeah, I hear you. We certainly need a centre back. And he's a decent player. He's looked impressive today, very dominant in the air. Has pretty much cleared up any danger around him. He wouldn't be a bad option at all. But yeah, I hear your point there. We do need a centre back now, don't we? Chukwueze on the ball. Richie. to the goalkeeper. Richie, nice pass there. That's stupid and offside there. Simicast on the ball. Ping pong to Ben Dirk. I'm not sure about that pass at all. Difficult for Jones to retain that ball. Jones to Connor Bradley. Nice pass from Morton to Frimpong. Oh, great turn there from Frimpong. Crosses it, lifts the ball in the box. Ah, Morton with the follow-up shot. Fortunately, just hit high and wide. Just got a comment here from Ozan. He says, Everton are apparently signing Malik Fofana. Really? So your reaction, FFS. That's a bit of a surprise. I'm not gonna lie. Um, yeah, very surprised by that, to be honest. It's a downgrade to say this because Leon are still playing Ligue 1, so he can still play at the top league in French football, but maybe they need the finances. But we're intrigued to see how much he's going to cost because Everton won't really want to spend too much money on him, or may not even have the funds to conclude a deal. So yeah, that's a bit of a random one. I didn't really see that coming, to be fair. If we are selling Chiesa, then that would have been my ideal replacement there. But let's see. Let's see what happens in terms of that story developing. Morton to Bradley. No, that's definitely a foul. Maybe not a penalty, but it should have been a free kick at least. Players just going for a drink break. Got a comment here from Mazzy. Big up Mazzy as always. He says, Ozzy, what's the positive and negative from the match so far, and which player has impressed you the most today? The positive, especially from the first half, is that we looked really sharp as a collective. We were playing quick football. We had a bit more intensity in our game, especially it being the opening 10 minutes, because normally we're quite slow and more composed in those kind of situations. But today we were on the front foot, we were aggressive. I think we created a decent amount of chances. Elliot probably should have done a bit better in the final third in a couple of moments. The player that impressed me the most so far today is Florian Wirtz. Florian Wirtz looks head and shoulders above everyone else. His first touch is effortless. The way he glides around the pitch with the ball, uh, great turn of speed, and he's got a great passer and been producing a lot of neat, tidy passes around the pitch. So for me, he's definitely impressed me the most. Secondly, would probably be Szoboszlai. I feel like Szoboszlai had a fantastic game playing in the double pivot, and the goal itself was exquisite. So for me, Wirtz and Szoboszlai are definitely the two stand-up players in this fixture. Of course, we're trailing right now, 3 goals to 1, but the second half, it was pretty much a new team on the pitch. So when those things happen, you lose that kind of momentum or rhythm as a team. So it takes a bit of time to recoup and hit the gears again, I guess. So for me, the positive is that we've played good level of football against a strong team in AC Milan. Of course, the scoreline won't be pleasing to us in terms of the outcome, but I feel like we are in the right stride of our preseason preparation because right now it's all about staying fit and making sure we can play with that urgency. So when we start the Premier League, we're raring to go, we're able to compete. So for me, we're heading towards the right direction. So very, very positive in terms of how we're playing today. Of course, the scoreline might not reflect that, but if you watched it, you would know we were having a very good first half in this game. Liverpool on attack. Was that Trainioni? It was, but fortunately, he was leaning back, and yeah, the shot just went over the bar there. Let's have a look at the replay. Was there a touch from an AC Milan player? Don't think so. Cannot turn the ball. Good turn from Bradley, I think that is. Yes. Frimpong goes inside. Just got a comment here from Mazzy who says, what are your thoughts on Rio? Has he shown enough to play a key role next season? I think he will definitely be involved next season. I don't think it'll be a key role. Key role is very strong for me at this stage of his development. I feel like he will participate in the cup games and will play a few Premier League games potentially in the latter stages of next season. I think it'll be too much to ask, at this stage of his career. He's literally just broken into playing the under 23s. I feel like that should be his zone for the next few months at least, where he plays at that level, build his game, um, enhances his sort of understanding and knowledge of the game in terms of from a tactical point of view. I think once he's got that, then he'll be in a great position to join the first team squad. Of course, I feel like something that he needs to work on is his end product, but let's not forget he's 17 years of age. So very much learning as the days go on. So for me, not a key role, but will be around the squad when required. So I know there's a lot of high hopes with him because he's been performing so well in preseason, but I feel like it's important to be level grounded and level headed in terms of making the right decision for the young player. And that's making sure that we don't rush him just for the sake of it because we have a lot of tackles in our squad. So we don't need to be urgent in terms of putting him in the firing lineup. Let him take his time, let him learn his trade, and when he's ready, I feel like he will be involved in some shape or form. So not key role, but definitely will have some sort of involvement for Liverpool next season. 81 minutes played. Liverpool won. AC Milan 3. Excuse me. Jones to Gakpo. Ball finds Perkins on the left hand side. Good half turn there from Bendok. The low cross, unable to find anyone, unfortunately. Chukwueke almost through on goal there. Konate makes the crucial clearance. Gakpo nice free ball to Doak. Gakpo low cross towards Jones, but unfortunately just drags it wide. Very unlucky from the English midfielder. Ozzie come out with the comments. Ozzie, unfortunately, I don't think Ben Doak is Liverpool standard. I don't either, to be fair. When we signed him, saw clips of him in Scotland. I thought, "Fool, looks like an exciting prospect." I just don't think he has the tactical nous to play for a team like Liverpool, where it's not just about raw ability. You have to be intelligent in your overall game, and I don't feel like he has that because right now, he's played just about 40 minutes now, and he hasn't been fully involved. He's tried to get on the end of things, but when you're playing at this level for a big club like Liverpool, you have to be a bit more of an all-rounder. You've got to be able to not just rely on one area of your game. You've got to, mix it about a little bit. You got to try different um, stances or different ideas in order to help the team. And he's played in a more further role than normal. He normally plays on the wings, but hasn't really showcased his ability today. So I agree. I feel like this is probably the time to cash in on him as well because he's got a decent valuation in around 25, 30 million. So I expect him to leave Liverpool this summer. And I do agree. I don't think he's quite at our level. He'll be a decent backup to some, but I don't think, it'll be worth keeping him whereas we can get, good, decent money for him as well. Good header there from Kerkez. Former club for, hold on. Oh, Gakpo. Similar position to Liao with his first goal. Should have tried to smash it into the top bin with his left foot and a cross goal as well, rather than the near post. Oh, good play there from Morton. Great awareness. Konate. Oh, lovely touch there from Bradley to Jones. Perkez to Gakpo to Morton. So Perkez with the cross. Robertson to Gakpo. Good cross from Perkez. Punched away by the keeper. No foul there. Strong play there from Konate. Gakpo. Got a comment here from Mazzy. Mazzy says, with Diaz and Nunes left out, do you think it's guaranteed they'll leave? And apparently, the LSC certified journalist Paul George said Chiesa considering his future. So, what's the front line going to be? I think with Diaz and Nunes, that is definitely highly expected that they will be leaving the club. In regards to Chiesa, still a bit 50-50 because if we sell him, then we're selling, the strength and depth of our attack in one window, and I don't think that's a smart idea. So I would rather keep Chiesa and Elliott and then sell Darwin Nunez and Diaz, and those two players that are sold, the funds that we've generated can be used to sign an Isak or potentially another left winger as well. So for me, um, I wouldn't quite say that they're not playing to a certain level, um, but I do expect Liverpool to release or not release. I would say probably sell some of our attackers in this window. Or then come out in the comment says, I just clocked it, didn't Tyler Watson start this game? It was soft and then back on. Yeah. Which is a bit strange because I think the commentators thought he was injured. So that's why they're like, oh, that's why he's not involved. But yeah, they got substituted around 35th minute and was brought back on just after the hour mark as well. So yeah, interesting tactical approach from Arnold Slot there. 4 minutes of stoppage time. Gakpo. Dark with a header, but no real power in that effort. So that's free kick to Liverpool. Newcastle on the ball right now. Tyler Morton, what can he do? Back to Simicast. Cross towards the 6-yard area, cleared away by AC Milan defenders. Go attacking from that left hand side. Goes inside now. Try to the cross to Gakpo. Oh, what a goal! What a header from Cody Gakpo. Unbelievable header. Made that look very, very easy. Great finish there. And also Kabak agrees. So it's a nice header, fantastic header for me. Fantastic header. Konate with the assist. Unstoppable. So Gakpo with a salute there. 30 seconds remaining. Can Liverpool get the equalizer very late on in the game? Let's see. Oh, we've just made a mess. Oh my God. That's embarrassing, isn't it? Oh, that's it is laughable, isn't it? Honestly. I think that was Simicast with the back pass, wasn't it? Nah. And that is the final whistle, I think. Let's have a look at the replay before we close the show. Oh, that's really that's a poor pass from Simicast. What was he playing at? Yeah, you argue to say that why is Bangladesh so further up, but we're trying to get a last minute equalizer, and wasn't to be, I guess. But hey, these things happen. I'd rather these mistakes happen now rather than the Premier League. So I'll take this all day long. But that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, in terms of upcoming content, if there's any breaking news today or tomorrow, we'll try and do an impromptu show. Most likely, it will take place tomorrow. Uh, best thing to do is hit that notification bell so you know what time we go live. And follow me on social media at Ozzie.ftp on Instagram and also Ozzie_FTP on X/Twitter. So thank you to the likes of Oz and Kamak. Big up for your comments today. Big up to Hamza. Big up to Kieran. Big up to SSB28. And big up to Moin as well for your comments. Appreciate your engagement as always, guys. And Mazzy as well. Big up to you guys. And that is it for today. Take care. Stay safe. And I hope to see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye.